Hey friend, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to share with you 5 questions you can ask yourself when you are considering decluttering a piece of clothing out of your closet, or you may be looking to create some space in your closet and you just don't know how to categorize the things that you absolutely love and that work for you, the things that you pass over and you don't know why, and the things that you're just ready to get rid of. Well, if you're anything like me, in the past I had a very big closet, absolutely stuffed to the gills with clothes that I rarely, if ever, wore. So much so that I actually one day heard the most horrific crash and I ran into my bedroom to see what the issue was. In our closet, the rack with the hanging rod full of clothes had actually come completely out of the wall onto the ground. Now, mind you, it was a carpeted closet, so imagine how much stuff I must have had on that rack and on those hangers for it to make a noise that I heard all the way across the house. Now, I hope you're smarter than me, because instead of realizing that I had way too many clothes in my life, I just took a few things off that rack, moved them, and then we did double, triple reinforcement into the studs in the wall and rehung everything right back the way that it was. How ridiculous. If my racking systems were pulling out of the wall, that is absolutely a sign that I had way too much. Now, you may not be anywhere near that situation that I used to be in, but wherever you are in your closet curation journey, I want to be here for you, and I'm hoping that these 5 questions will help you bring clarity to each piece so that you'll be able to confidently choose whether you want to hold on to it or you want to let it go and pass it on to the next person. But before we get started, if you're new here, hello, my name is Katie Marie, and I am married to the love of my life, David. We live in South Florida and we have a 10-month-old baby boy, Gabriel. Every single week, I put out videos all about minimalism, simplifying your life, living an intentional life, and being present in the moment. So if any of those things sound good to you, make sure you subscribe and hit the little notification bell so that you get notified when I upload a video every single week. Also, it would do me a huge favor if you would go ahead and like this video. If you can't tell already, I am extremely passionate about minimalism because it has changed our life in so many ways. And that's actually why I created this YouTube channel, because I want to share my journey with you and I want to share the things that I've learned, hoping that they can help you along in your journey. Now, you may have no desire to even be a minimalist, you may not know what a minimalist is, but chances are you probably have some areas of your life where maybe you have excess, and it can absolutely cause stress, especially in your closet when you feel overwhelmed at the start of your day. You have a closet full of clothes with nothing to wear, and that actually used to be me. I used to just pick the same things over and over again and never even realized I could actually let go of the other articles of clothing that were doing me no good. And I've heard a statistic recently that most of us wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. But I would beg to guess that a lot of us actually wear 10% of our clothes 90% of the time. That was definitely me back when I had that massive closet with probably 1,000 pieces of clothing or more. All right, let's get into it. The first question to ask yourself when you're looking at a piece of clothing that you're considering decluttering is, do I love this? Now, I'm talking about, do I look at it and love it, but also when it's on my body, do I love how I feel? Do I not really have to think about what I'm wearing? That's actually the key, I think, is when we take our minds off of actually what we're wearing and we can focus on the life that's around us. That's a clue that whatever we're wearing is most likely working for us, because we're not fidgeting with it, we're not messing with it, we're not wondering if we should have made a different choice to wear something else. Number 2 is, does it fit well? This is a major factor for me. I've actually decluttered pieces that I absolutely loved. I looked at them, they sparked joy. When I had them on, I thought that they were beautiful. I thought that they fit my personal style, but they did not fit well. They were either way too big in the waist, or maybe the shirt was just a little bit too short, or I didn't quite like the cut on me as I did on the hanger. If you're actually questioning it's something that you haven't worn in a while, go ahead and try it on with something else that fits you very well. So if you're trying on a top, put your favorite pair of jeans on and then try the top on and almost style it in a way that you normally would style yourself to go out of the house, and see if that piece of clothing works for you, if it fits you well. And if it doesn't, there's no shame in the game whatsoever. Don't feel any guilt if it doesn't fit you right anymore and it maybe did in a different season of life. We're always growing and evolving. So it's more than okay if something doesn't fit anymore. We can go ahead and pass it on to someone else who can use it. Number 3 is, have I worn this piece in the last 6 months, or do I see myself wearing it in the next 6 months? This is an amazing question because it helps form a 365-degree picture of the utilization of the piece of clothing. So right now, if I haven't worn it in the last 6 months, then that's half of the year. That's 2 seasons right there. Now it may be a summer piece and those last 6 months were winter. So then I move forward and think, do I see myself wearing this in the next 6 months? And if the answer is no to either one of those questions, then that's probably an indicator that it's time to just go ahead and move that piece of clothing out to make room for the things that really light you up and that you wear on a regular basis. Number 4 is, if I saw this piece in a store right now and I had to pay full price for it, would I buy it? A lot of times this has been the question that has actually made me realize that whatever piece of clothing that I'm considering decluttering, when I say no, I wouldn't invest in this piece of clothing again, it's time to go. Number 5 is, when I wear this, do I feel like the best version of myself? If you're looking at a piece of clothing that when you wear it, you don't feel amazing, then I just question, why are you holding on to it? Now, I'm not saying that every single basic t-shirt and pair of leggings needs to just spark oodles of joy and have fireworks going off in the background. Some of our pieces of clothing are a lot more functional than they are joyful, but I'm talking about these pieces that you have passed over and over and over again. It's time to actually see what it is about them that we don't like. And it absolutely could be that you just don't feel great when you wear it, and that is okay. Now you may say, I actually don't know if this piece of clothing fits any of those 5 questions. What do I do? If you have pieces of clothing that you just aren't ready to let go of for whatever reason, feel free to box those things up, but make sure that you have a timeline on it, and then be true to yourself in that timeline. Maybe put an event in your calendar for 3 to 6 months from now, and if you haven't reached for those things, or if you're not in a place where you can wear them, maybe it's time to let them go. There are the top 5 questions to ask yourself when you are wanting to declutter pieces of clothing from your wardrobe. The most important thing is to remember to have fun with this process. There's no pressure. There's no one standing over your shoulder saying that you need to get rid of a certain amount of clothes or that you need to keep these certain sentimental clothes. This is your journey, and it's going to look different for absolutely everyone. Don't ever get fixated on a certain number of pieces in your wardrobe or think that your closet needs to look like anyone else's, because you're a unique individual and every single part of your life should and will look different from everybody around you. It's also super important to maintain the perspective of being grateful for the things that you had, and most of all, for the space that you're creating. Space for your clothes that you love to breathe, space for your heart and mind to not be overwhelmed with decisions, because decision fatigue is a real thing. And always remember that personal style and curating your wardrobe is a very fluid journey. You're gonna ebb and flow, and things are gonna change in your life. You may change jobs, you may have children, you may be an empty nester. There are going to always be different seasons of life, and it's most important for your clothing to reflect where you are in your lifestyle right now, because your clothes and all of the things around you are meant to serve you rather than you serving them. And also remember that you are not your clothing. There is an abundant amount of clothes out there, and if you happen to let go of something that in the future you wish you would have held onto, most likely you're gonna be able to find it again at a secondhand store. Maybe you can find it at an online consignment or from the retailer that you originally purchased it from. There is no lack, only abundance. And focusing on the things that you are keeping and the joy that they bring you, the way that they make you feel, is absolutely a game changer in this journey. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that these 5 questions will help you find clarity when you are considering letting go of items in your closet. As someone who used to have over 1,000 items of clothing, I can tell you that having a concise, curated wardrobe has made all the difference in the world for me. And I actually find that I have more options and more creativity in my wardrobe than ever before. I highly recommend you give it a try, and I would love to hear from you. Are you on this journey of letting go of some of your clothing or letting go of any items in your home? I would love to hear what you're letting go of, what your experience has been, and also any tips you have on how you have let go of items that are no longer serving you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.